Okay, yeah, what sorts of things do you like to do with Vaslav?
Like play hide and seek and mess with him sometimes.
How do you mess with him? What kind of stuff do you do to him to mess with
Just punch him then run away. I like to do like games with him. Most favorite thing.
him? Yeah. What's Vaslav's favorite food to eat?
I think pizza.
What's Vaslav's favorite color, do you know?
I'm guessing white. Because white is on Lumberjacks colors.
That's right.
Just so you know, I don't think he has a favorite movie.
Oh. I appreciate that information, yeah.
I was probably more apprehensive than she was about it. I don't know who it's going to be, and even until they get here, you don't necessarily know that either. And you don't know if personalities are going to clash, right? You don't know if the way people are raised is going to be different than yours, and that doesn't mesh well. I'm always apprehensive about our boys and like how it's going to affect them. I don't want them to feel like, oh, now we have this other person that we are giving our energy and time and thoughts and affections to, and how's this going to affect me? Those were all in the back of my head, and, you know, actually it was Eric. It was Briggs said, like, no, this is the best thing we've done. You know, it's like, it's not like having another parent, but the kids feel like they are being held accountable, and you don't necessarily have to be the one always harping on them. So I thought that was kind of neat. And, you know, I was a big brother, and I thought that that would be good for our kids to have that too.
It's them seeing his commitment, seeing sort of, you know, what it takes for him to manage being here, waking himself up every day, making sure that his nutrition is correct and he's meeting those metrics and finishing his schoolwork without anyone telling him what to do. It's largely because he has these huge goals and he's driving himself. And so that's, for me, what I want my kids to also be able to do, right? You know, we had to have background checks and we had to go through all the safe sport training and all, you know, sign up all the things that are necessary to be a billet.
When she was going through all that, like telling us the steps we needed to take, I'm like, all right, well, like how much time do we have, right? She's like, well, he's over there on the couch. And I was like, oh, so now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was Thursday, we were having this conversation, and he showed up Sunday. So we had 3 days to bang it all out.
Yes, but that's not totally not traditional. That is not the normal experience.
Right.
But that was our experience, and
it's got to be weird, right? I mean, being 16, 17 and flying across the entire world,
mm-hmm.
and then you're just now in these random strangers' basements.
Yeah.
So, yeah, anything we can do to alleviate the anxiousness or a little bit of homesickness, that we wanted to make sure we could do that.
But for Vaslav to be coming from the Czech Republic, I just thought, like, what a cool experience for our kids to now have a sort of older brother figure that had a totally different life experience than they have, and can share things with them and can talk to them about, you know, Europe and what's going on in Europe and kind of different foods. And he speaks in his own language on the phone, and the kids love it. They think it's so neat.
Sure.
It's almost like a nice little bonus to billeting is that he's international.
Yeah. Right now, there's a lot of negativity in the news, a lot of international stuff, and there's a lot of uncertainty everywhere. Being able to put a face sometimes, or a person or a family in situations where, you know, it's 6,000 miles away, so who cares? Well, this person that lives in my basement does, because it affects his actual family. I think anytime you can personalize versus vilify another human being, it gives you a much better perspective. It definitely is more of a net gain than it is a net loss, right? I mean, it's not like, oh man, this kid is such a pain and our house is a mess and he eats too much and we gotta go all this stuff. That it's way more beneficial than there's the cons are just not really there. I don't feel like it's done anything but enrich our lives at this point.
If you're going to Billet, set expectation. These kids are going to jump right into your family and be comfortable. You know, there might be a bit of a learning curve, and there might be some time where, you know, you're getting to know each other, and that's okay, because at the end of the day, the whole point of all of this is to create space for them to come home and rest and reset and really work toward their goals. So they're gonna be like a normal 16, 17, 19, 20-year-old kid. And so giving them the space to do that and not expecting them to just jump right into your family
Sure.
and be comfortable right away.
Yep.
But it certainly came pretty quickly. We're appreciative of it.
When Vasav leaves at the end of the season, how are you going to feel about that?
I'll just give him a hug, then I'll just remember about him. Yeah.